Seeing thousands of mourners gathered in South Africa to bid Winnie Mandela farewell. Hello there, and many thanks for joining us on Superscreen's flagship news broadcasting to live from Lagos. I am Adenike Owoye Ajiboye. President Muhammadu Buhari has assured parents of the abducted schoolgirls from Government Girls Secondary School in Chibok, Borno State, that their daughters will never be abandoned to their fate. President Buhari, who disclosed this at the Abuja House in London, urged the Chibok girls' parents to keep hope alive on the return of their daughters. President Buhari also reaffirmed that his government remains focused and determined to see the girls return to their homes, urging the parents providing quality education and training. They are empowered. They will be empowering the poorest and vulnerable girls to get the skills they need to get the jobs to build successful careers. Thompson also conveyed the deep condolences of the British government to the parents of the abducted pupils and those who have died from attacks in the restive northern eastern states. A River State Governor Wike, who disclosed this during a courtesy visit from stakeholders at the Government House in Port Harcourt, said parliamentary staff are critical to the development of legislative arm of government. He charged the chairmen and commissioners to place national interest above individual consideration.
The legislature, the executive, and those who work with them must work together for the interests of the state. And I believe you are coming to them will help. Having, by the time you review the activities of the states and that of another assembly, it will help you to take a common position as regards the Assembly Service Commission, be it state or national. It's very, very important. Instead of us, after politicking, to focus on governance. It was unfortunate in our own part, from the beginning to the end. We don't talk about governance, we talk about politics. Security is even politicized, everything is politicized. Development is even politicized. So everybody must make sure that, look, the way our country is going, if we don't participate, if we don't speak out, if we don't fold our hands and say, well, we are not politicians, who are more politicians than you?
The chairman National Assembly Service Commission, Adamu Fika, commended the governor for his unwavering support to the assembly over the years.
You have completed for the State Service Commission. We would like to thank Your Excellency for the monumental works you have done to a river state, and particularly in Port Harcourt.
Governor Wike charged all present to work together to deliver effective service. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has invited 13 top officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, for questioning over an alleged 2.5 billion naira scandal in the agency. The development has made the list of those implicated in the fraud to 20, to have complained to an ad hoc committee of the House, which led to the invitation of the Vice President, the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, and some government officials. The Nigerian army says its troops have killed 7 Boko Haram insurgents in the ongoing clearance operation in separate ambushes in Borno State. The Deputy Director, Army Public Relations Operation Lafia Dole, Colonel Oyema Nwanchiku, disclosed this in a statement in Maiduguri. Nwanchiku said the troops also arrested a suspected Boko Haram insurgent, Spy Moduchari, and recovered arms in multiple encounters with the fleeing terrorists on April 13. The army spokesman also said the troops arrested a member of the Boko Haram terrorist group, Maduchari, while transiting along Cross Kawa in the northern region of Borno State. The death toll in an attack by Fulani herdsmen in Taraba State has risen to 32. A herdsman had attacked Jade Kula village in the Wukari local government area on Wednesday. No fewer than 25 bodies were counted in spite of the intervention by soldiers who were said to have battled with the killers for several hours. A former special advisor to the late Governor Dambaba Santai told journalists that 7 new bodies were recovered yesterday as some of the victims were buried in shallow graves. The police have detained an activist, Deji Adinyoju, at the venue of a protest for the release of Ibrahim El-Zakzaki. El-Zakzaki, a Shiite cleric and leader of the Islamic movement of Nigeria, has been in detention since 2015 when Nigerian soldiers allegedly killed and massacred over 300 of his followers. Adeyanju has been leading daily protests for the cleric's release over the past 3 months. Details of his arrest are still sketchy, but he is believed to have been arrested by the FCT Police Command at the venue of the rally. The police say they have arrested 12 additional suspects in connection with the April 5, 2018 bank robbery that occurred at Ofa in Kwara State. The police had earlier arrested 8 suspects, bringing the number of suspects arrested so far in their custody to 20. The first public relations officer, Jim Moshood, who disclosed this in a statement in Abuja, has said the police recovered phones, iPads, and SIM cards belonging to those who were killed during the robbery, adding that the suspects all confessed to the crime. And now coming up on the news. A Minister of Finance reassigns portfolios in the Security and Exchange Commission, SEC. Details of this and more coming up in Business to Stay. Welcome back. Now in Business World. A Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, has reassigned portfolios in the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Special Advisor, Media and Communications to the Minister of Finance, Oluyinka Akintunde, said Mary Uduk will assume the position of Acting Director General of the Commission. Akintunde stated that the minister in a letter said Uduk's appointment had become necessary to ensure effective regulation of the capital market. The minister also announced the redeployment of the former Acting Director General of the Commission, Abdul Zubair, accused of corruption, to External Relations Department. The Federal High Court in Abuja has held that the immediate surpassed the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Adoke, cannot be held liable for his roles in the oil processing license transactions, commonly referred to as the Malabo deal. Delivering the judgment in the suit filed by Adoke against the incumbent AGF, Abubakar Malami, Justice Binta Yako held that since Adoke only executed the lawful approval of the then President Goodluck Jonathan, the former minister was free of any liability for his roles in the deal. You will recall that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had charged Adoke with various offences involving his alleged roles in the transaction in which Nigeria was said to have been defrauded of about $1.8 billion. The Senate has mandated its Committee on Petroleum Upstream to investigate alleged renewed agitation over ownership of oil wells claimed by Kogi, Anambra, and Enugu states. This follows a point of order raised by Senator Chukwuma Chukwuka Utazi during Thursday's plenary, where the lawmaker alleged that Anambra government had used one of its appointees, Prince Emu, to grant an interview saying Anambra is an oil-producing state.
It is unfortunate that the one Prince Emu, who is the chairman of a host states of oil-producing communities, visited Anambra and went to the traditional rulers in the traditional rulers' house in Oka. He went there and announced and assumed the powers he never had to come and say that the federal government has approved Anambra as oil producing. Mr. President, this Senate is very, very reasonable, and this Senate handles the issue expeditiously. The result of that announcement, that declaration by one Prince Emu, who went to talk with his members, talk about the constitution of oil host communities, and went about and started doing what he shouldn't do, has caused a lot of trouble. And the people of Kogi and the Enugu states are getting up in arms to fight this matter.
Other senators expressed divergent views on the issue.
Most English colleagues, if you recall in 2013, those that were here in the 7th Senate, I moved the motion for Anambra to be included in the oil-producing nation. And then the issue was that every state that wants to be included must produce 120,000 barrels of oil before they will be included. And I know that Anambra has attained to that. So what my colleague is saying is not true. He's lying. He's just saying his own view. And I would like the committee to go into it. And number two, let's call the SA to the president on that so that they can sit down. And because another time again, Stella Odua raised the same motion, including Anambra State as oil producing company. So for him to stand and say that what they have said is not right, is wrong. So let's set up a committee so that we can go through it and know how to resolve.
You had earlier ruled, Mr. President, that the chairman of Petroleum Upstream look into the issue of the conflict as regards the oil discovery. But I want to say that as a senator representing Kogi in this chamber, that my electric brother and friend, Senator Utazi, is totally wrong, and that my soft-spoken senator from Anambra State is totally wrong. The oil is from Ibaji local government in Kogi State, and it is wholly owned by Kogi State.
I think the best for this kind of matter is that's why we have standing committees like Committee of Petroleum to look into the matter and then come back to us and tell us where we are. I think until then, these matters will not, because I am sure if others can contribute, we have different contrary opinions to what you have raised. So Chairman Petroleum Upstream, please look into this and let us have a report on the matter.
Senate President Bukola Saraki, however, referred the matter to the Committee of Petroleum Upstream with an order to turn in its report in 2 weeks. The National Engineering and Technical Company Limited, NETCO, has announced that its profit before tax for the year 2017 dropped about 34% to 3.26 billion naira when compared with the previous year. NETCO, a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), said the PBT decreased by 34% when compared with the 4.9 billion naira it recorded the preceding year. NNPC Chief Operating Officer Bill Rabiu said the decrease was attributed to the foreign exchange gains, which constituted 56% before tax in 2016 as compared to 4.8% gain in 2017. Still staying with business news, the Bayelsa state government has threatened to sue the federal government if it refuses to deduct the 13% derivation component of the $1 billion excess crude account funds it plans to withdraw to tackle insecurity in the country. The State Commissioner for Information, Daniel Markson, who disclosed this in a statement, said although the president Buhari's claimed the $1 billion would be used for security purposes, and many Nigerians doubt his sincerity. According to the statement by Yelsa, state government is insisting that the 13% derivation component of the money be deducted and sent to various oil-producing states as earlier demanded. And now still ahead on the news. Thousands of mourners gather in South Africa to bid Winnie Mandela farewell. Join us for details of these and more from the foreign scene.